Africa can be united economically. I can economically be in the same group with the Egyptians, with the Moroccans, and so on. But politically, I would like to be in a unit where people are either similar or linked or compatible. I don't want a country where there are incompatibilities. And I think East Africa can be a perfect example, because with Swahili, with our old linkages, we already have these linkages, the old ones, the ancient linkages, plus the Swahili. We can have a very powerful union, better than the European Union, because the European Union has got limits, because they try to be like the United States, but the United States united around the English language. European Union have German, have French, have what, they all, nobody is willing to surrender to the other. But for us, apart from the foreign languages, English and French, we can have Swahili. And our union will be much easier and very, very powerful. So thank you very much for calling me, so that I can also tell you. Now, Lumumba wanted to say that Museveni's watch. If people were listening to Museveni, would have had a federation long ago. So you go and convince your new government in Kenya, and you see we shall be able to, we can move. Because these Ugandans have said I should be here for another 4 years, I'm still around. So you can use this window with the new government in Kenya, and we move. And I discussed this with Mwalimu, I can tell you this. I discussed this with Mwalimu, and we agreed that if for some reason some of the countries have got a problem, they can't move on the federation, then the ones who are ready to move. What we call variable geometry. So that one I totally support. It's not correct for the ones who have a problem to veto the ones who want to move. Because when Mwalimu was frustrated with our groups here in 1964, with Karume, they formed Tanzania. And it's there. And it has helped a bit. You can imagine what will be the case if Tanganyika was separate, Zanzibar was separate. They share the water, the continental shelf, the what, all that. There would be a lot of complications. And as you know, Zanzibar is very small. Now you find many Zanzibaris now in Tanganyika. They have got more opportunities. So it was good that Mwalimu and Sheikh Abeid Aman Karume moved while the others were dragging their feet, giving. You can be sure, if that union had been formed in 1963, there would have been no problem in Burundi, because East Africa could stop it. There would have been no genocide in Rwanda. There would have been no Idi Amin here. Even Somalia wanted to come in, by the way, that time. These problems you see in Somalia would not be there. Even Congo, because East Africa, if we are together, we would help. South Sudan would have helped them long ago. So it was a very big mistake, a very big historical mistake to miss that moment of 1963. True quarters. And to do damage to us when we cannot reach them. So that's why we say, We, the NRM, all these years, we said no. For us, economic integration is not enough for East Africa. It must be political, economic integration, but also political integration. Because with the political integration, then you have one army. You have one army, you have one defense system. East Africa can plan now, can plan. We can go to, because the Indians have gone there to ask the Americans what they are doing there. What are you doing here? This is our heritage. It's ours, all of us. The Russians have gone there. The Chinese have gone there. The only ones who are here are the Blackies. What did they call the Africans? Negroes or what? What did they call them? They are the only ones who are here. In fact, all the other races have gone except the Africans. They are the ones who are really content on earth here. This is very risky. This is criminal. This is criminal. To say that we are leaders and we don't see this and we are just here, Excellency, President, Madame, Excellence, Madame, Mademoiselle. In the African Union, you go there, you see, Banani. We are keeping Africans for slaughter in the future. Like looking after cows, then at some stage they are slaughtered by the one who wants to slaughter them. This is not acceptable. That's why we need East Africa can go to space. East Africa. You can go to space. You Americans, what are you doing here? Mukola Chiwano. Eh? We have also come to see what you are doing here. So, that's why Ngoga correctly captured number two. Number two, integration is to deal with the issue of strategic security. Otherwise, it is really, because you the generation of Africans, you are going to be like the African chiefs who are here half naked, running around, that they are very important, that is a lion, that the king is a lion. A lion, whom do you eat? He only eats. Why don't you eat the imperialists who come to? Now, these kings, I have had a long problem with them, because remember, your ancestors were here in their ignorance. Well, all right, we were here with our small kings. In Ankara there, we had a small king, but the Banyankuru thought he was a great king. He was Rubambansi, the control of the whole world. They thought that Ankara was the whole world. Rubambansi, Mugabe Nyakusinga. So we had these little kings here. Here, Karagwe, Uganda, Bunyoro, all these little kings were here. They didn't know much, so you can't blame them. But the problem is that when I hear rumor that some of you are Christians. It's not confirmed, but there's some rumor that, now if you are Christians like me, you would have read the book of the Acts of the Apostles, the journeys of St. Paul, those places where St. Paul was passing, Ephesus, Galatia, Corinth, and all those places. Some of them, are now in a country that did not exist at the time of Jesus. This country is called Turkey. This Turkey you see now. It was not there. The Turkish captured Constantinople in 1453. Captured it from the people who were there, the ones whom St. Paul was talking about, the Romans. Now, when they captured Constantinople, they blocked the overland route to the east. So the Europeans could not get spices, especially which they needed for winter, for preserving food. That's how the Europeans started expanding, looking for an alternative sea route to the east. The Portuguese, 1473, they got where Sierra Leone is now. 1482, a man called Diego Cama got where Angola is now. 1487, a Portuguese man called Bartholomew Diaz got to the Cape of Good Hope. That's how they call it, the Cape of Good Hope. And then 1498, Vasco da Gama went around the Cape of Good Hope and landed in Natal on Christmas Day. That's why they called it Natal. Now, that's why my problem with the king starts. When Vasco da Gama went from Natal, he passed by Mombasa, he bombarded Mombasa, he continued to India. From that time, 1498, these kings of ours here were aware, they were hearing that new people are coming, new people who are strong are coming. But they were just here, just not bothered. You can imagine, Vasco da Gama went around the Cape 1498. The first white man to come to Uganda was Huntington Speke in 1862. You calculate, this is a difference of 364 years. These kings are just seated here, not bothered to find out what's happening. And information was coming from the coast until the Europeans came and caught all of them like grasshoppers here. All of them were captured. Mwanga, Kabarega, all these little fellows who tried to resist, they were captured like grasshoppers. So, is our generation going to be like that? Like those kings? Because you have heard that somebody is in space, he's looking at you from there. And for you are here, dancing, dancing in Pakachini. Really, that's all the leaders are doing. When your people are here, and you know very well what happened to people when they are conquered. The good thing with the Africans is that they don't die easily. This is the good thing about Africans. If you go to America now, and you look for the Red Indians, they are not there. They disappeared. What they call Americans now are new people who came and took over the land of those Indians. Europeans who went and took over the land of the Indians. In South America, it's the same thing. Here, we refuse to die. That's why we are here. But is that going to be the case tomorrow? How can this generation of what they call leaders accept Africa to lag behind again? So that's why, number two, strategic security compels us to go beyond economic integration to also political integration, so we can have a safe security formula to guard ourselves against anybody. The Chinese, they are moving. You have seen the Russians, what the Russians have been able to do with their friends, the Americans. You have seen what's happening there. If it was not for the poor leadership, Wanyankore were really tough people. But these kings were hopeless. The Munyankore, if he wants to fight you, he says, he first insults you. I will cut your mother something. Then you know that he's serious. We are not serious. Now, finally, but these people, we are begging you to integrate. Because we are begging you. The NRM, I have been, so now almost from 1963, this is the newspaper of the 3rd of June, the 6th of June, 1963. You can see the headline. Federation this year. Top level meeting of Marimo, Nyerere, Obote, Kenyatta, they are all here. You take this gift to the speaker, to the deputy, right honorable deputy speaker. And then here, there was also another meeting in Mbare. This was some years later. You take this to, oh, you have another copy? Give Tayewa a copy, Ngoga another copy. Even remember the preacher can also get a copy. So, that was the Uganda August of June 6, 19. That was the Uganda August of the 6th of June 1963. That's when I became a follower of Mwalimu Nyerere. From that time. Now, Mwalimu Nyerere was so much committed that people say, oh, Nyerere wants to be president of East Africa. That's why he's, very low-minded people. So now, Mwalimu died, he went to heaven, you are here with your problems.